Trade deadline season in the NBA, a day that Donnie knows very well. We're about 2 weeks away, I'm pretty sure, from that NBA trade deadline that hits during Super Bowl week. We'll be out in Las Vegas. But you know what's going to be tough, DRS, is breaking that news, not any trade news around the NBA, but breaking the news to Kevin Walsh, old K-Dubs, that on PFT, Pro Football Today, regardless of how he might try, no NBA trade deadline conversations on a PFT Pro Football show previewing Super Bowl 58.
That's true. And also, Kevin not allowed to talk NBA. And also, I'm not going to allow him to wear his glasses on set for the Super Bowl either. So tune in for that.
Why? Why?
Let's get that fresh approach, man. Throw people off. You know what I mean? Look at Kevin looking less astute up there. I like it. Let it hang out a little bit, man. No glasses. Come on. What do you need glasses for? You're talking.
You wanted to look less astute to get more confidence out of our viewers?
Exactly, man. We're changing our MO out there. Kevin, no glasses, is going to take this network to the next level. Trust me on that. 2024, big year.
That's a pretty good bit, Donnie, because it's like you're just the bully. Kevin walks on set, you rip off his glasses.
Yep.
He can't
Take
have those.
3, 2, 1.
Probably
Take it away. Yep.
Probably would be better, though, for an over-the-ear headset that I hope we have out in Las Vegas.
Oh, now the comfortability out in Las Vegas is going to be tremendous here. You want to tell me between commercial breaks, I could take the headset off and peruse around, Radio Row. Let me watch you out. I might be back late on some occasions here, getting back from the break.
All right. Okay. So I guess we should actually do what we're paid to do here, and that's talk about sports and the NBA trade deadline coming our way in exactly 2 weeks from today, Thursday, February 8th. We have already seen some blockbuster deals throughout this NBA season. The first was the Beard making his departure from Philadelphia to LA. At first, it did not seem like James Harden would work out with the Clippers. Since that point, 8-10 at the end of November, LA has won 20 of its last 24 games. The Raptors have been big sellers ahead of the deadline. OG Anunoby traded from Toronto to the New York Knicks. That has been great. A 10-2 record for New York with Anunoby in the lineup. Not the returns just yet with Pascal Siakam in Indiana. They have lost all 3 games with Siakam in the lineup. Terry Rozier, the latest trade earlier this week, traded from Charlotte to Miami, made his debut last night for the Heat. They were an 11-point home favorite against the Memphis Grizzlies. They lost big against Memphis, who won outright as an 11-point underdog. Rozier played 29 minutes, only scored 9 points.
Yeah, and again, we're taking a look at all these notable trades here that pop up. And again, the one that's listed first, James Harden, it's very rare, Ben, in instances where you might say this was a home run for both franchises here. James Harden didn't want to be in Philadelphia anymore. Who knows what it would have been if he stayed and was unhappy and being a distraction in Nick Nurse's first year. And by the way, Nick Nurse at his opening press conference, like, hey, man, I really would like to coach James Harden. Like, I don't know what happened on that last regime, but if I had my druthers, I'd like him to be here. So you basically trade him away. You don't get a huge return back, but he goes to the Clippers, and it didn't start well, similar to what we're taking a look at maybe a Pascal Siakam not starting out with the Indiana Pacers. But from a Clippers perspective now, looks like it fits like a glove. Look at the Philadelphia 76ers, one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. So a trade like addition by subtraction in Philadelphia worked. Addition by addition out there for the Clippers worked out really well in their favor. Yeah. It's interesting to see that worked out on such a lightning rod player such as James Harden.
The vibe's incredibly high in Philadelphia. Joel Embiid having a historically efficient and incredible season in the NBA. And in LA, James Harden has been great. More of a facilitator role for the Clippers. They have all the superstars to feed, and so far, it's been really, really good. When James Harden was traded, the Clippers' price to win an NBA championship went from plus 2,700, 27-1, cut by more than half all the way down to 13-1. I couldn't believe it. I thought it was a terrible move by the odds makers. Now the Clippers at plus 850, fourth best price to win an NBA championship. So we're 2 weeks away from the NBA trade deadline. The Miami Heat have already made a move, adding Terry Rozier. We expect them to be continued buyers at the deadline. The Lakers are always looking to buy, as LeBron James is telling Rob Pelinka, hey, man, make some moves so we can be a little bit better. The Lakers, a game below 500 at this moment. The Celtics, the best team in the NBA, they could add the Milwaukee Bucks with a reinvigorated coaching staff and roster, might be making some moves as well. And keep an eye on the New York Knicks, because where things stand right now, Donnie, in the Eastern Conference, the Knicks 10 games above 500. They've won 4 straight, 10 of the 12 with OG Anunoby in the lineup. If they make another move, it's not about getting to the playoffs or hosting a first-round series. It's about contending alongside Boston, Milwaukee, and Philadelphia.
Let's take a look at those expected buyers, Ben. We'll start from the bottom here. And as you brought up the New York Knicks, a team on the upswing, made one move here. It's working out well. Hey, you know what? Let's press that needle down a little bit more at the deadline to see if we can become a factor in the Eastern Conference. The Milwaukee Bucks adding. Of course they're going to add. They're a championship-level contender here that just got Doc Rivers as their coach. They have championship expectations. Yes, they're going to make some moves to improve their team. The Boston Celtics, same boat as the Milwaukee Bucks here. Gunning for an NBA championship. Of course they're going to move here. The Miami Heat, we're always expecting, even from the preseason where they wanted Damian Lillard, now winding up with Rozier, they're still going to add on at the deadline as Pat Riley, one of the better GMs in the National Basketball Association. But that leaves the one team up top. It's the Los Angeles Lakers. We're always expecting them to buy because it's LeBron James. But what's the point of buying for the Lakers? Like, you're barely a 500 team. Like, who are you buying? Are you getting rid of LeBron James because you're going to buy back 2 players that you think will be better than him? Are you getting rid of Anthony Davis to get better players than what they were for Anthony Davis? I don't understand that. And I guess just because LeBron James is there and you have to make a move, like, honestly, the Lakers shouldn't even be in that realm. They should be in the sellers category, going like, you know what? I understand we need superstars. Teams or players will always flock to Los Angeles to a certain degree because of the cachet it gets for playing in LA for the Lakers.
Yeah.
But what would the Lakers' move be to make them a championship contender where they would sell pieces of their future? I don't see it. The Lakers are what they are. Just ride this out. See if LeBron can get to the playoffs, catch lightning in a bottle. If not, you move on at the end of next offseason. I don't understand the point the Lakers being buyers just for the sake of they have LeBron James.
That's what it is, though, right? They have LeBron James. They have Anthony Davis. They made it to the Western Conference Finals despite being the 7th seed in the Western Conference postseason a year ago. They have a 30-1 price to win the NBA championship this season. I want to look around the NBA standings, if I can quickly, to find another team below 500 that has a number even relatively close to that. I think the Golden State Warriors would be that only other team because of the postseason pedigree. And the Dubs price is double that of LA. The Lakers 30-1, the Warriors 60-1. Everybody around that price for LA, 30-1 for them. The Miami Heat 34-1, the Mavericks 35-1, the Knicks 42-1. Everybody at least is a couple of games above 500. That's the odds makers, though, and as long as you have LeBron and AD, and with how the NBA format works, you just got to be a part of the top 10 to have a shot of being a playoff team in the play-in tournament. There are those opportunities out there. Donnie, some of the other teams that are not listed as buyers, the Minnesota Timberwolves, Oklahoma City Thunder, they are the top 2 teams currently in the NBA's Western Conference. How will those teams continue to be judged following the trade deadline, approaching All-Star Weekend, when we'll be at 60 games played in the NBA? So as we look at some sellers, we've already seen the Hornets start to make moves. The Wizards fired their head coach, Wes Unseld Jr., earlier this morning. They're atrocious. They have 7 wins this year. The Raptors are in a rebuild. The Atlanta Hawks have speculated they might move on from DeJounte Murray. And the Chicago Bulls are in this weird limbo area where they've brought back Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan, but now finally many games under 500, it might not be worth it. Those are the big names, Donnie, those notable players on this list that could be on the move in the next 2 weeks.
And it makes sense for the Chicago Bulls, right? It felt like they had the makings of a really good basketball team, and that whole Lonzo Ball injury that basically took him out of the NBA for a couple of years really derailed that, because they had to look, hey, we got the scoring 2 guard, we got the point guard that can distribute here. You got one of those old tough guys there in DeMar DeRozan that can do it all inside the 3-point arc, and you had a big guy in Vucevic. It didn't work out in their favor. They should be sellers here. But you're going down, the one thing I always like to point, like the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks buy and sell every year. Like, what is their MO as a franchise? franchise at this point. It's never like they're all in or all out. Like, oh, can you pair this guy up with Trae Young? And if it doesn't, we'll move on and get another guy. I thought that the DeJounte Murray move was going to be like, you know what? Now's the team we have the backcourt. Let's continue to build around it. And this is one of those teams that went to the Eastern Conference Finals just a few short years ago, already in the seller's market. And not because they have an old team. It's that they just can't figure out components that fit together in order to make a championship level team. That's a team I want to watch out for to see what they actually do in Atlanta here, Ben.
The Bulls 3 games below 500, but still in the 9 spot in the Eastern Conference standings at this moment. If the season ended today, listen, we're already past the halfway point of this NBA campaign. Despite being 18-26, Atlanta would be the 10th seed and into the Eastern Conference play-in tournament. Atlanta has reached the postseason the last 3 years, now under Quinn Snyder, 8 games below 500. Much like you, Donnie, I thought DeJounte Murray was going to be an exciting piece in the backcourt alongside Trae Young. He would be the guy I would point to first and foremost, that wherever he goes, if he is dealt ahead of the deadline, and the Lakers have been rumored to already be in the running for DeJounte Murray, he is a guy that would move a market, a conference championship price, an NBA championship price at this moment. Oh, by the way, the Atlanta Hawks, the second worst underdog covering team in the NBA, now 6-16 against the spread. So it has not been a good year in the ATL by any means. We will get you ready for a Thursday night in the association with the 2 premier NBA handicappers on this network. That's Donnie. I'm Ben. We do it up next here on the Early Line.